What is going on, everybody? My name is Northy, and today we've got ourselves a very, very exciting team coach review, because if you guys know, when we aren't on the team coach page to start, usually it means there's some good things about, and it's very, very exciting here today. I was live streaming when the results came in, so I do already know what the results are. However, for those who weren't in the live stream when it happened, I'm going to show you right now. It's really, really exciting. Really, really good week. We finally broke the drought. Let's have a look at Team Coach right now as I go ahead and misspell team. That's good on me. But here it is. Finally, the prize winner screen. It's good to see it again. Lovely stuff. We take it every single day of the week. Now, let's find out where it is. We're going to go to Star Powers first. Now, Star Powers started really good for us this week. Most notably, Marcus Bontempelli. His game was incredible. 141 is so good for double points. That's 282 points off the rip with one player. This was just unbelievable. Loads of marks, disposals, 1%ers, couple goals in there as well. He did everything that we needed. Bontempelli did, and it's absolutely the type of week that we need. So, with that being said, we are now going to check everybody else, and it starts off the downfall with Josh Kelly. Only 52 points. I don't know how he keeps getting worse. 14 disposals and 4 marks with 1 tackle is so, not what Josh Kelly has been doing this year. He's been such an underrated player, and now it feels like he's almost fallen back into the, bad habit of getting really poor performances out there, and just along with GWS being really poor. So, look, as much as Josh Kelly has been good for me this year, he had a really poor round, and pretty much negates Bontempelli's 141-point game to a 100-point game, just like that. We get 104 from Kelly and 282 from Bonts, gets us a little under 400. That performance single-handedly could have ruined us. And to spoil it a little bit, it did ruin us. We got to Noah Anderson, though. He got 81 points. Not the kind of game he had last week, but nonetheless, looking really good at the moment. Sticking in the 80s, we like to see it. And I'll take that with the double points. However, I did switch up Luke Parker's team star powers with Noah Anderson, and Luke Parker had a game 6 points better. So, look, it's disappointing that we missed out on those points, but at the same time, there's not much of a difference in it. I'm not really stressed about that choice. I've only missed out on 12 points realistically, and it wasn't enough to make the difference. However, Carl Amon, he had 91 points, but I think the thing that surprised me the most, Jai Simpkin is now becoming a lot more consistent. 104 points, and I had a team star power of him. Could have used him. I don't know whether I make that switch next week. I honestly don't know. Simpkin is a midfielder, and our midfield is good, but not amazing like a majority of the midfield kind of have to be legitimate winners every single week. And North got their first win last week, which is great, but obviously Simpkin had to play out of his skin to do so. So really good from him, and 104 points is amazing. Would have loved to use him as a team star power, but unfortunately, since we didn't put him in, we only had the aim on. We get the 91. And with that, we go and check the ladder. 726 points. It's a lot of points, don't get me wrong. I'm really happy with the end result, but we look at number 30 for the week, or 33. 759 was the lowest amount you could get this week in order to get a prize card. Last week, we would have got one. This week, Josh Kelly really ruined us. If we switched out Josh Kelly for literally anybody else and chucked in Jai Simpkin, we get a prize card. It's that simple. And it frustrates me because it's a choice I probably wouldn't have made in hindsight. I definitely wouldn't have made the choice because I haven't used him all year, and Simpkin obviously plays for North, and North haven't been good all year. So I can only really hope that Josh Kelly plays well, and he just didn't. He let us down. Thankfully, though, the performance that we had in general as a team was good enough to put us up to rank number 5. So we are now officially in the top 5 again for Star Powers. A massive recovery. We went up 6 spots. Considering the fact that in Star Powers this year, we did have the round where Noah Anderson didn't play and was a late out. That round really ruined us, and so we missed out on a double points player. We've managed to recover quite nicely, and it just makes me think, what could have happened if we had kept him? If he got to play even? We could have gotten an 80-point game, add 160 points onto this, and it gets us a little bit closer to number 3. So we could be rank 4 right now, even closer. But I think we've got to take the little wins we can here. Hales 16 has been so good as of late, and you'll find out why in just a sec. But nonetheless, a top 50 finish isn't terrible. Not top 30, which we would have liked, but 50 is okay. Nice amount of points, and moving up a rank for the season is always good as well. Meaning that someone must have been messed up. Someone must have had a player that got taken out at some point, because I was in 6th, Howes must have been behind, or, yeah, must have been behind because she got a prize card, or he got a prize card. I don't know why I keep saying she. I don't know who it is, but Hales sounds like a Haley, so I guess that's why I'm saying she. But nonetheless, doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I think someone had a poor week and has dropped down a couple spots, so it's unfortunate for them, but just missed out on the prize card here. And the reason I'm so disappointed is because we go on a top team, and it is the complete opposite. We go to top team, and after Friday night, I knew this team was a winner. I'm like, it has to be a winner. There is no shot it doesn't win. Bontempelli, like I said, the 141 points was the winner for the week. Just an unreal comeback. He's been pretty poor as of late. We stuck with our players, and he paid off for us big time. Really, really good. Jack Sinclair as well. Looked a bit quiet, but then that second half, he just exploded. Something happened, and just everything clicked for him. 129 points, 11 marks, 4 1%ers, 36 disposals. He kicked a goal in there as well. Just overall, an amazing game from Sinclair. Only beaten out by a surprise game by Barras. So, good job on that part for Barras. Definitely a career-high game in a lot of areas. 30 disposals, 18 marks. Had a great performance against Hawthorn. It wasn't able to take them there, but Sinclair, I'm still really happy with. And Rory Laird, we picked him out in the most perfect time. Rory Laird broke a VFL AFL record for tackles in a game with 20. That's bound to win you a week. He had 31 disposals, which is actually below his average, and he didn't get a single mark. And yet he was 1 point off of being the best midfielder for the week. That is ridiculous. He just had an awesome game in terms of tackling. It was a very tackle-heavy game. It was wet conditions. It was grit and grind football. And both teams were going at it. The pressure was insane. Overall entertaining. You also see Scott Pendlebury in there. He had himself 12 tackles. So many people had a load of tackles. It was a ridiculous game for tackles. And yeah, Rory Laird ended up being the best one out there with the 20. If he had just gotten one mark, he would have gone even higher. But that is a super nice pick out. Perfect timing. And our only poor pick this week was Riley O'Brien. And even then, we were 23 points away from the top scorer, which it really isn't that bad. We could have picked Witts, English, was even thinking Darcy, so Riley O'Brien isn't the worst pick. Draper, unreal game from him. Maxi Gorn, a lot of people may have been a bit safer and picked him, but he's only 4 point different. Really not disappointed at all with this week's performance with all players. And with that, we check the ladder. Rank 4, and now season rank 4. This is really exciting stuff here now. We have broken the 6,000 mark in terms of game points. We have now gotten into the top 4. The top 5 was an awesome place to be, but now we're in the top 4. We've got my name there in 4th position, and I'm in gold right now for the season for this week. It's so good to see my name back up there. So good. But there's myself. Minty Hawk, I believe, has been in the comment section before. I can't remember off the top of my head who that is, but shout out to you. Once I see you in the comments, which I'd imagine, then big shout out to you. I also need to shout out someone else. So I think it's in top 18, but he was in Star Powers. We'll go to top 18 in just a sec, but awesome stuff this week. An amazing performance, and so far, top 4 is our game mode, is our big game mode for the year. I'm just annoyed because I don't think there's any prizes for top 4. I don't think so, but if we can get in the top 4, that'll be amazing. We will, however, now go over to top 18, and top 18, believe it or not, is better. This week was awesome for top 18. I couldn't believe it. We start off with the backline, and a few games that I was really surprised by. Sinclair, the 129 we talked about, was amazing. Sicily, although he looked a little poor, the 14 1%ers carried him so hard. The spoils. It was the spoils that did it for him. Crazy for 1%ers. And if you don't know, 1%ers actually give you 3 points. We check the info here, and the info shows you all the points right here in the bottom corner. And 1%ers give you 3. So when you get 14 1%ers in a game, that's an amazing achievement to get. That's really sick. So bit of a savior for him, honestly. It saves him because it looked like a disappointing game, but Sicily, nonetheless, over 100 points. It's good stuff. We look at Jake Lloyd next. Really good pick out there. Chucked him in for the week. No 1%ers, but 13 marks. You'll love to see it. Probably had a few tackles in there as well, I think. If not, that's all good though, because the 98 points is very nice. We'll take that every day of the week. Nick Vlosten's the next one. It was a bit of a risky pick. However, it did pay off. The 90 points, we will take that from a backman. Absolutely. Vlosten, the 22 disposals, 9 marks, and 1%er. Actually ended up being the best Richmond performer, I think. Jaden Short wasn't too far behind, but nonetheless, Vlosten was the best Richmond player for the week, I think. I cannot believe that's the case. But we move on. Dawson with an okay performance. I think he was a bit pinned. He was a bit pinned this week because they were up against Collingwood, and he was kind of just their far back player. But Collingwood are such a rebound. They're so good with the rebound 50s. So when it goes out of their forward 50, they know how to grab it and kick it back in. Jordan Dawson is a lot more of one of those players where he helps guide the ball around their back 50, and he likes to, play composed and kick the ball out, stuff like that. The small things that aren't in as much pressure situations. And so the fact that Collingwood put so much pressure on their forward 50, it meant Jordan Dawson wasn't as effective. But the 7 1%ers help him. 2 marks isn't great, and the 19 disposals isn't either. We'll take 83 though, but Jack Crisp is probably the one that we may have to make the change soon, because people in his team, they're both the Dacosses. A lot of Collingwood players in general though are starting to take over Crisp's role. Pendlebury did much better than Crisp, and I'm not sure whether that means we need to make the change here soon. I'm not sure who to just yet, but Crisp may need to sit back very soon. We'll see what happens, but Jack Crisp, only the 75 points, was the worst performer in our backline. Not the worst performer for the week though. We check out the midfield. Lockie Neal, still not really finding his season form. Last week he had the 60. He improved by 22 points, which we'll take, but not the greatest performance from him. But other than that, we look at our 3 best players. Led, of course, we talked about. Mills, we had 2, and Steele. Zach Merritt, I will keep pointing him out for anyone who needs a little bit of a sleeper pick. Zach Merritt is starting to wake up. He's starting to play really well at the moment, and so a consistent midfield pick right now, I'd say Zach Merritt is your best pick at the moment. But Steele in there, he stays consistently good for me. The 9 tackles, 3 marks, and 26 disposals. I think he had a goal too, gets him 103. I think our worst performer for the week is down here. Brayshaw, like I keep saying, it's so hard to tell when he's going to play well. I don't know. It's just because he's young. I don't expect him to play well every single week, especially, but it's just annoying when you take him out, he scores 130. When you put him in, he scores 70. I don't know what to do. I really don't. You just have to get lucky with him. It's like Jack McRae for the most part. Speaking of, if we put Jack McRae in here, something nice would have happened. If we kept him, that would have been a big thing this week, really. If we'd stayed with our gut. But Dylan Moore, we'll start with for the forward line. This was a super nice setup to see. And Marcus Bontempelli, Himmelberg, and Dylan Moore, all 3 of them were the best performers for the week. And all 3 of them went in our lineup. Just amazing week to pick these guys for forwards. Like I've been saying all year, Himmelberg has moved to the back line. And he's starting to get more involved with the play. And this just showed it. Himmelberg went off, although in a loss, he had an amazing game in that back line. 8 marks, a goal, and 30 disposals is just great stuff from Himmelberg. Even without the goal, 105 points is awesome. And I even had Tex Walker in last week. So if we had managed to keep him in, maybe not last week, but very recently, we had Tex Walker in. If we had kept him in this week, again, that would have been a very interesting pick. But we look down. Bailey Smith wasn't a terrible pick out. Coming back from that long suspension, he managed to get himself 88 points and a half decent game. 4 marks, pretty much bang average, which is crazy considering he's been out for a while. And then Luke Jackson, I'm not sure how we pick him out for the rest of the season. I think this Luke Jackson spot may have to be changed up every now and then, considering we need to make the most of our mismatches, I guess. Because Jake Stringer did okay. I think the biggest mismatch that we missed out on was that Tex Walker and Jeremy Cameron pick. Jack Rewalt would have even been a nice pick, but he shot himself in the foot against North Melbourne. There's really no other way to describe it. And Shea Bolton, once again, also part of that disappointing Richmond squad, only had the 59 points. 59 points against North Melbourne. Crazy. I don't know how we managed to mess it up that bad, but with that, And all that said, we check the ladder. Rank 2. Rank 2 we managed to get. And we have a look at the left side of the leaderboards. We were 3 points off tying first place. So that's why I mentioned if we kept Jack McRae, we would have got the 20 and gone over Hales, who, again, I'm going to mention now, was really high up in star powers. This person is number 1 for the season in top 18. So they're doing amazing. We're still outside the top 10 with a second place finish. We only went up 1 spot. And the reason that is because Grady Ethan also had a great week. He was only 6 points behind us. And everyone from 2 to 10 who didn't make it must have also had really strong performances or just that far ahead at the moment, because I don't know how to describe it. It's just strange, the fact that we keep managing to have these good performances throughout the games, and top 18 is the only one where we can't make any progress. It's so strange. I do want to get in that top 10 before the season ends, but it's kind of strange what to do with this one. We came second for the week, and in that week we look at the right, and there are so many good performers who are up there right now. Super Cooper, who is CJG, big shout out to him. He got 2 prize cards this week, as I mentioned. He came 7th in top 18, and he's been talking to me a lot through Insta DMs about how he's managed to get himself a lot of similar teams to mine, and this week paid off for him. Really paid off for him. Only the 20 points behind me, and you had to get 1,700 to be in here, which is crazy. It's crazy. I'm just looking through all the players and the fact that all these players are pretty good. CJG is very close to top 20. Very, very close. We've got what looks like a 1,000-point lead, a little over 1,000-point lead on CJG. So I think we're safe in the top 20 this season, unless something absolutely catastrophic happens. I'm pretty sure we're safe. Just a great week overall for us, and great week for a lot of subscribers on the channel too. So we will pick the prize cards in a sec. I'll just quickly go through the tips that we got this week. We got 6 out of 9, you can see here. Some of the incorrect picks. Gold Coast got destroyed by Essendon. I don't know what Essendon have done to change things up, but Essendon are now apparently very good again. North Melbourne beat Richmond. Man, that was an awesome game to watch. I watched it live on stream, and it was nerve-wracking, but we got it done. We got our second win for the season. I'll take the wrong pick. If it was the only one I got wrong, maybe I'd be a little annoyed, but it wasn't, so I'm not stressed. And Fremantle ended up losing to Sydney at Fremantle. That's pretty crazy. I didn't expect it. I'm not sure whether it was at Fremantle or not, now that I think about it. But nonetheless, if it was, surprising loss. But that's all for the tips. We're going to go back to the home screen now and pick our prize cards, because we got two to pick from here. I'm not sure what to do. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick Cozzy and I'm going to pick Zach Merritt. Cozzy did really well. He kicked 6 goals on the weekend and is just an awesome player. And Zach Merritt, I'm going to pick him because he's been an underdog this year. Because a lot of people have been talking about Darcy Parish last year. And with Darcy Parish out for a bit, Zach Merritt has been kind of, wandering. And so hopefully he continues his great form, both for Teamcoach teams and just his team's performance. So it'll be interesting to see whether Zach Merritt continues his great form. However, I'm now going to pick both of them. So keen to have 2 now. And now they've both been picked, you can see right here. Cozzy's now got 1, and Zach Merritt's now got 1. It's very nice to have 2 players. My first 2 prize card win. Really awesome. Really awesome to see. And could have been 3. It could have been 3. If we got 3, that would have been ridiculous. But 2 top team wins is awesome. We've been lacking on the top team prize cards, but we go down here now. And the star powers and top team are both looking great. 4 top teams and 5 star powers is a great sight to see. But nonetheless, that's where we're going to end it. Cheers for watching. Thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We do Teamcoach content like this all the time. And become a member if you're feeling generous enough. Link in the description to join, or press the big join button next to subscribe. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.